In November 2018, the New York Times published an article with the title, "Facebook Failed to Police How Its Partners Handled User Data." According to this story, the US does not have any data privacy laws, so the only constraint on data collection by businesses is through so-called consent decrees handed down by the FCC. A few years ago, after getting into some trouble, Facebook agreed to have a regular audit of its data sharing agreements with partners such as Microsoft and the company that makes the BlackBerry. The auditing firm PricewaterhouseCoopers has admitted to the New York Times that Facebook set the terms of the audit, and also they found very little evidence that Facebook tried to monitor how the data is used by its partners after the data left the door. I'm actually very surprised that our government and the auditors believe that Facebook or any other tech companies has the ability to monitor what happened to our data. What we have here is the illusion of control. Let me explain to you why a tech company will have a lot of difficulty tracking its data. Data are stored in computers that are called servers. Only authorized users can access these servers. When Facebook decides to share its data with Microsoft, the data flow from a Facebook server to a Microsoft server. Microsoft and Facebook will have signed a data sharing agreement in which Microsoft will say that it is going to use Facebook data for a specific purpose, such as to send targeted mobile ads at you. The unknown is whether Microsoft is also using the data for a different purpose, such as building a personality profile of you. This consent decree requires Facebook to take responsibility for tracking what happens to the data. But that expectation is dead on arrival, because for competitive and security reasons, Microsoft will never allow Facebook employees to log into its servers. So it just isn't possible for Facebook to find out how Microsoft is using or not using the data. We recently learned that tech companies cannot be trusted to play by their own rules. We've all been asked to provide phone numbers for something called two-factor authentication, which means that you have to give them your phone number and they're going to send you a code, after which you verify your identity and you can log on to your account. According to Gizmodo, Facebook takes your phone number and shares it with advertisers. So we lost control of our data. Having managed data teams at large companies, I have sympathy for data analysts who may have unintentionally misappropriated user data. When we access phone numbers in a database, for example, it's not clear to us where that data came from. We're definitely not told that users provided the data for security purpose only. So to a data analyst, anything that they could find in the database is fair game. There are many copies of every data element in existence. That's how big data databases and data clouds function. If the data disappears from one computer, we can recover it from another computer. Vendors are always bragging about how much data they can process in how little time. Speed and efficiency are their strongest selling points. And modern database architectures are not designed for our privacy. Because of the negative news surrounding Facebook, many users are deleting their accounts. But don't assume that deleting your account deletes your data. Some years ago, I got an offer from an email marketing company that reads 50% off if you reactivate your account. The offer further proclaims, if you come back today, we can reload your contact list so that you don't need to start over. What that told me was that when I removed my account, they did not delete the contact list and its contents. Again, we face the illusion of control. When I deleted my account some years ago, all I've done is to disconnect myself from the data, but the data lived on. Here's what happens when you provide data to an app or a website. The website will make many copies of that data and distribute these copies around the world in different data centers. The website may then have a data sharing agreement with a third party. That data is now flowing from the website to that third party server. The third party, in its turn, is going to make copies of the data and upload it to its own data cloud, which means that you have even more copies in even more locations. And the third party may have its own data sharing agreements with yet another company. And so it goes. When you try to delete an account, you've disconnected yourself from your data. It's hard to know if the data has been deleted. It's harder to know if all copies of your data has been deleted. It's almost for sure that if that data has been shared with a third party, that third party will continue to keep that data and use it for their purposes. So if you really want to keep your data private, you should not put that copy of your data in the cloud in the first place. If you like what you heard today, please like our video, subscribe to our channel, and spread the word. Please also send us any ideas you have about future topics as we demystify the world of data and algorithms. Comment your ideas below.
Principal Analytics Prep. Prepping you for the data revolution.